gentlemen, pieces and blessings upon all my AKHis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Boxing Hood, episode 6. With me today, I have a very, very special guest, the one and only Bill Apply Pressure Haney. How you doing, Ak?
I appreciate you. How you doing today?
We doing great, man. Thank you, man, for pulling up again on Boxing Hood. You always show up, always answer the call. Just like Devin Haney, you want all the smoke. So I really appreciate you doing that for all of the fans.
Hey, there's not a hood in the world that's talking about boxing that I ain't gonna show up in, brother. So, thank you for having me in the show, and thank you to everybody in the chat, and everybody around the world just following Devin and supporting us. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. And I appreciate OG Swag showing me love off the gate. Now, Bill, last time I spoke to you, it's a lot been said. And I was under the impression we broke it down to 1 + 1 = 2. However, the fans want to know, why is 1 + 1 = 2? That's what we're here today to explain, because like I said, I thought we explained everything last time around. So with that being said, have you heard from Gary Russell since then? I'm talking about his team, from Haymon, since he turned down the offer last time around, which was like around a week ago, which was, I believe, last Friday.
Well, actually, I haven't heard from them. I mean, as far as I'm hearing what you guys are hearing in the media, G, he hasn't given me any word, any indication. I'm just waiting.
So you telling me Gary Russell, I know you saw the video where he took to his Instagram and had something to say to the public, but he did not contact you nor your team in order to make a couple steps forward to make the fight.
No, only thing that we've ever been waiting on is his phone call back with confirmation that the email has been sent over. And he said that Al has it now. But one thing that I want to say, and I want Gary to not put the responsibility and the blame on Al or Eddie or Zone or Devin or anything like that. You know what I mean? Take ownership in your career. Take ownership and responsibility and things that you say out of your mouth. As a man, as you so eloquently always put it. And let's kill the narrative that if the fight doesn't happen, it's Al's fault. Because if it does happen, wait a minute, if it does happen, then Gary takes the credit. He's saying that he wants to spank the young bull's ass. If the fight happens, then Devin takes the credit that he went after the OG. So let's not fabricate these stories as if we're waiting on Al to stop or block the fight. That's a total lie. And Al has already left it up to Gary. He's left.
I mean, according to Gary himself, he confirmed that. He said Al Haymon gave him his blessings to fight on the zone.
Gave him his blessings. And up until we've sent the paper, we have yet to see any red line, anything pertaining to what Mr. Russell would like the contract, or not even the contract, the term sheet to say, in order for the contract to come back. So we have yet to hear. We hear as much as you guys hear in the media, but as far as coming through the email or text, he hasn't responded. He hasn't responded.
Yeah, I mean,
put it that way. He hasn't responded yet until the offer, because the offer was sent. On paper, so we need Mr. Gary Russell to respond on paper, whether he don't want to do it or he does want to do it. But please, by all means, respond on paper, so then there won't be any misunderstandings. It's 2020. He went to social media just then. I came to talk to you and listen to what you got to say and what the people got to say. Matter of fact, let's do something special. Let the callers in, because they didn't heard enough from me. So let them ask me personally, and then let's go from there. Let's go. Yeah. Let's take it live. Let's do something let's set a tone for the companies to follow, the promoters and everybody to be in the hot seat. Put them in the hot seat. Let the fans hear it. This ain't no scripted message. I don't have no scripted message for the fans. You know what I mean? This ain't no rehearsed, no none of that. We're just responding to what the people want.
Why is he talking about, he's still talking to Al Haymon, but he's not talking to you guys? Because the issue is there's a couple things on the term sheet that he doesn't like. So why doesn't he contact you guys in order to fix the issue? Why he's still talking to Al Haymon if Al Haymon already gave him his blessings?
Well, one thing that I can say is I always say big respect to Al, and for what reason that he would be talking to Al would be one simple fact that he's talking to one of the most and best knowledgeable people in boxing. You know, so let's not diminish the fact that he's talking to him, but let's also take into consideration that he's already said that Al has given him his blessings to negotiate. And one thing I know about Al is that when negotiating, if Al wants to do something, he's going to send over you the way in which he wants it negotiated. And that's why I say with Gary, if he send over something, then we could agree to disagree, or we could agree to agree. But we haven't received nothing. And I don't want it to be pointed out. I do not want it to be that it's Al, Eddie's, Devin's, none of the promoters, none of the fans. The only sole responsibility falls on is Mr. Gary Russell.
So what can he be possibly talking to Al about for a whole week and not contact you guys?
I don't think that he's actually talking to Al about anything. I think that it's a stall tactic. It's a stall tactic, and it's not good for business.
It's definitely not a good look because Gary been having trouble finding a big fight. The last big fight he had was JoJo, and before that, it was like 6 years till he actually got a JoJo in the ring, right? So this right here is going to put a black eye when it comes to Gary Russell because all of the fighters now could use that against him.
It's not that it will put a black eye in the game. Yeah, but what it does is it undermines all the efforts that everyone has been making in order to make this fight happen because we believed on it. And I definitely think that it undermines all the part of all the news media, all the media with new media. Old media has now, you know what I mean, embraced it. And I think it just undermines the event by Gary, you know what I mean, approaching and answering the way that he's answering. And it's not fair to the people because it gives the connotation that we don't have our stuff together, and that's so far from being true. The offer that was sent over to Mr. Russell was fair. It was a fair and good offer, and it deserves a response.
Why don't you guys give Russell exactly what he wants, which is the DAZN and Matchroom printed on the term sheet?
The DAZN and Matchroom is on the term sheet.
My understanding is, well, this is what he said. Let me quote Gary. He said, the reason why I haven't signed the contract because I'm not about to sign things that bonded me to something that's not 100% legit. What is not 100% legit?
I have no idea what he is talking about. It's not legit because there is not no terms that binds him. And there's no terms that binds him.
Right. Well, I think his complaint is the fact that the DAZN and Matchroom, he said the term sheet is not valid unless the DAZN and Matchroom pick up the fight. So can you confirm that the DAZN and Matchroom are interested and they want to pick up the fight? Because that's his main complaint that he's been talking to Al Haymon about, which you would think he will talk to you guys about and respond to you guys instead of Al. But what's your take on that? Wow. Wow. We saw that. We saw the DAZN, Matchroom, and everything in the term sheet that Gary requested. There is nothing really there to stop Gary Russell from signing the term sheet, right? Is that fair to say? Hey, listen, it's a bad look on Gary's behalf because he's still talking to Al Haymon and he haven't contacted you guys, even though you guys gave him everything he wanted. So for him to talk to social media and not talk to you guys, but say he's still trying to pursue the fight, he's showing zero commitment on his behalf, on his end.
But I'm saying with Mr. Russell, we don't have no time to be playing. For the people in the chat, I don't send no BS. I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if he doesn't want the offer, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to respond to the offer, then the offer could be in the trash. And I could publicly show the fucking offer then if that's what he wants to act like that I did something wrong. Come on, Gary, just respond, do business. Don't assassinate my character inside the media. Don't assassinate Mr. Haymon. Don't assassinate Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, DHP. You know what I mean? It's all about you, bro. It ain't about nobody else. It's about you talking all the shit that you talking, and Devin being actually able to fight the longest reigning champion in the WBC. The most shit talking is fighter in the boxing. But we need to get these two guys in the ring. You know what I mean? Enough talking, enough blaming. Let's stop playing the blame game.
Yeah.
I'm saying this, everything in the terms, anything in the terms was the terms that you publicly said that you wanted. So let's knock it off. I mean,
so
it's not no. Go ahead.
So if he don't like something in the term sheet, you would think he will contact you guys.
Or
but you haven't heard from him.
Say it over the media. Say it in the media again, and then let's do it. You know what I'm saying is there's nothing that we haven't did to get this fight with Mr. Russell. It might be time to where it's just time to move on, though.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like I told you before, it takes two to rumble. So if Gary is refusing to sign, then Devin have to look elsewhere.
Yeah, the man holding real money up with capping. You know what I mean? Real money. Motherfuckers got real money, getting real money in the pandemic, and he's capping. You know? You talking about they ain't got the money. You don't want somebody to have no money. They ain't got no money. Ain't nobody got no money. That's what you want. That's what the fans really want too. Is Gary Russell fans is there ain't no money. See, I told you it ain't no money. Yeah, I know. That's what y'all don't want it to be.
Oh, Devin get paid millions every time he fight anyways.
Absolutely. So what the thing is shout out to the real fighters that people be saying that they get up in there. You know, they got families that's watching and you know, and they get up in there, man. They raise their hand. And maybe they got one loss. Maybe they got two losses. Three. But that's the reason why they got the loss, because they raised their hand. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And guys that's running around that they protecting they owe and they padding they shit. You feel me? I told you Devin want this shit. And I want y'all to be as excited about him and his effort. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't beat him. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say that, but be excited about his effort to get up in the ring to showcase in front of y'all against a great talent like Gary Russell. No matter what they say, the fighters say, we know that he's talented, but it's something special about Dev that makes even a guy like Gary Russell pass on him.
So moving forward, all of the complaints by Gary Russell and his fans. So first of all, the money issue, DAZN and Eddie are not interested.
Yeah, to reaffirm that Matchroom and DAZN have money and interested in the fight with Gary Russell. Period.
And ever since you had a conversation with Gary Russell on the live where you put him in the corner and he dipped out of the live, but before he did so, he did say, "I'm gonna call you."
Right.
He said, "I'm gonna call you," and he haven't called you yet.
Gary Russell has called, never called me and told me to adjust anything on the term sheet. Never.
Wow. So give credit where credit is due. All these fans, all these hardcore boxing fans that want to act like they got love for fighters that call out the best, that they want an old school type of fighter. Well, Devin Haney is giving you that. There's the boogeyman in every division in the sport of boxing, but it's official. Devin Haney is the A boogeyman in boxing, period. The A-class boogeyman. He got every single fighter in his division shook and the division below. So I don't want to hear nothing about Devin Haney not wanting to smoke or doing anything in his power and everything in order to make the fight. On the other hand, I'm tired of all these excuses. I had a list of excuses to ask Bill Haney what's going on. I'm tired of asking excuses questions. Why you guys don't put DAZN and Matchroom on the term sheet? And then he confirms it is on the term sheet. And then I'm like, okay, excuse number 2. Why Floyd Mayweather block in the fight? Oh, damn, he debunked that. Excuse number 3. It's always an excuse. It's either the date, it's either this, it's either that. I'm tired of asking excuse questions. I had Bill Haney on for 2 shows now. And all the questions I asked him were literally excuse questions. So to all the fans that send me all these excuses to ask him, I did.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.